everyone, I hope you're doing fine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be preparing meals. I'll be doing two sauces today, or dishes. As you can see, I'm just defrosting the fish here. I'll let it defrost, and then after I'll just fry it. As you can see now, it's all defrosted, and I'm just cutting it, preparing it to fry it. So I'm just gonna cut off the gills, not the gills, the fins, I believe, and then prep it for frying. I'm just going to cut it in 4 sections in the middle, but not fully cut it. This way makes it easier, like to cook quicker as well. So the reason why I'm cooking two sauces, because sometimes it's really busy. I'm sure most of you will agree with that. So I have days whereby I cook 2 or more than even 2 dishes, and then just put it in the fridge, and then just warm the sauces up, and then maybe put rice on the side, boil rice or whatever, thing that you want it to go with. For example, in Uganda we like eating fish with something called posho. It's basically maize flour, and here we like it in my house, we like to mix it with cassava flour and maize flour. So yeah, now I'm just putting the oil in. I'm just going to deep fry it. I like to use the olive oil, as you can see before there. So the fish is ready now to go into the oil, and I'll make the sauces later. As you let's just continue watching the video, and then you see how I make the sauces. And I make it exactly how my mom used to make it back home in Uganda, so, and my kids love it. They really like to eat it. The only thing they struggle is the bones, so I have to take the bones out for them, and then that way they are able to eat it properly. So as you know, living in UK is not an easy life. There I'm just draining off the excess water, so that when I put the fish in the oil, it won't how do you say, the oil will not bubble too much and go all over the place. So put the fish in there. And as I was saying, life in UK is not easy as people think, especially if you're a working mom, a full-time mom, basically working, you have a full-time job, and then you have to juggle with kids. So what I've learned, that I do things differently. Everything has to be in order, planned. For example, if you're having visitors, they can't just turn up. You have to arrange to see when you are off and when you're not that busy, so that when the visitors come, you spend time with them, and basically everything works on the clock basically, and on timetable. And I like to be on time. I don't like to be late. For example, if I'm going somewhere, I have to put it in my diary. As you can see there, sorry, the fish is now done, all nice and crispy, and you can eat it like that as well. Sometimes we eat like this, put salad, maybe tomatoes, onions, and some chili on the side, and vegetables. For example, spinach, and what else, beans. I'll do one day video how we cook our beans in Uganda. So I'm now going to do the sauces. I'm just putting 1 can of tomato, and I make sure I blend that, so that when the sauce, eating the sauce is all smooth. And my kids, they really don't like tomatoes. If they find tomatoes, like a lump of tomato in the sauce, they like, oh no, they push it to the side. So I make sure I've been doing this for years. I blend the tomatoes. The only thing I don't blend eats the onions, but I make sure the onions I cook them really really soft, so yeah, the onions are now cooking, and I'll make sure they're all brown before I put in the tomatoes and all that with the spices. As you can see, it's brown now, so I'm putting the tomatoes in to cook the sauce. Let it simmer for a few minutes. Yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, life in UK is not that simple as people think. No maids here like back home. You'd have a maid to help you around, or family and relatives to help you around with the kids, with the chores. So in here in UK, I have to do everything most of the time. Basically, yes, I do everything. Cook, clean. On my days off, I cook, clean, maybe take the kids to the park. So now there, I'm putting the spices in. I have paprika, garlic powder, and one spice that we use back home, which is called simbambili, curry powder, and the other one was turmeric. I always love turmeric in my sauces. So yeah, as I was saying, and I'm going to add a bit of salt there. As I was saying, so in the UK, you have to do things for yourself. You don't have extended family. If you don't have them to do, even if you have them, they have their own lives. They're busy, and this life in UK is basically a hustle life. It's basically work most of the time, And if the kids are in school, that is even better. So you work. On my everyday, activities, I wake up maybe 5:30 and then get the kids ready to school. If I'm doing a late shift, I'll get them ready for school, let them go. The older one goes by himself, and then the younger one, I have to still take her to school, even if so. I'm just adding in water there to then after I'll put the fish in, stir it a little bit, so it's nice and simple. As you can see, now I'm just going to get the fish and break it in 2 pieces. Here I'm just going to use only 2 fish, and then I'll leave the rest for another day or something else. And also you can cook the fish with peanut sauce, so I'll make a video one day showing you how we make the sauces as well back home in Uganda. So guys, all this food that I'm showing is mostly the food that I grew up eating back home, and I really love it. I'm so grateful that my mom taught me how to cook it, and of course many thanks to my aunties as well. Back home, if you didn't know how to cook, it's a problem. So the fish is done now. It's on the side simmering away or boiling away. So, and I'm also going to do a goat's meat dish or sauce. I'm just putting the oil in. As you can see, I'll start off with the onions. Fry the onions until they're golden, and then I'll put in the mix and all that. I'll put in the onions. We love lots of onions. I love, there's something that onions does to the sauce. It makes it thicker and more tastier. You can leave out the tomatoes, but once you have the onions in your sauce, it gives it much better compared to when you have the tomatoes in. A pinch of salt and a bit of spices, that will do. So in the goat's meat, I'm going to put this aubergine or eggplant, as we used to call it back home. So I'm only going to use one, but if you would like to make your sauce even thicker, you can put 2. So I'm just going to cut this in small pieces and leave it to the side. Soak it in water. The reason why I soak it in water, because if you don't soak it in water, it tends to turn have brownish color. So So by leaving it in water, it prevents it from going into that, having that brownish color. So I'm just going to peel off the skin. I really don't like the skin when it comes to aubergine or eggplant as we call it back home. I'm going to cut it into small pieces and leave it to the side. As you can see, there I had to leave to so that I can mix or stir the onions a bit. We don't want it to burn. So yeah, like I was saying, yes, life in UK is really not easy. It's a stressful life. So I hope you guys are enjoying the video and me talking, of course, and please don't forget to subscribe, of course, and leave a comment and tell me, leave a comment regarding the video I've made. So I've cut I'm nearly done with the eggplant now. I'm just gonna put in water like I said before. So as a mom in UK, so in the couple of days, as you can see, I'm just putting in a dish there and put water in it. In the coming days, I'll be having vlogs and mix. Of course, I don't know if you don't know my channel basically is about DIYs, fashion hauls and cooking, and everything else here and there. So in the in couple of weeks coming ahead in the vlog, basically I'll be showing you more of my cooking and all that, and the struggles of a mom, in UK. So that's the meat, the goat meat. I pre-grilled a little bit this time, just to take the excess oil or fat away. So the onions are brown now. I'm just going to pop the meat in and fry a little bit and put the spices in. Fry the spices as well with it. Unfortunately, back home, here, I can't use the charcoal grill, but if I was home, that's just straining off the excess fat and then putting the salt. You don't pour that water away that grill from the meat, just for more flavor. So as I was saying, back home we have like charcoal. You can use charcoal. Oh, sorry. Back to the fish again. The video is going faster now I'm talking. So that's the okra. Just half a little bit. I'm adding it to the fish. As you can see, the fish is looking really good and tasty before I taste it, So I'm just going to leave that to simmer. The only reason I put a little bit of okra because my kids don't love okra, They don't like it very slimy. So I just decided to put only a little bit into the sauce and leave that to simmer a bit. Leave it to simmer a bit. So back to the meat. As you can see, the onions are now all brown and the meat is looking good, So just wait to put the spices in. As you can see, I'm using the same spices: turmeric, that's paprika. The first one was simbambili, and then I'm using the what is it called, powdered garlic instead. And then I'll just fry it a little bit more so that the spices can cook properly. The reason why I do it this way, because when you put on tomatoes before the spices, they tend not, I find that the taste is not the same. But if you do this, cook the spices first before you put the onions, it tastes much better. So I've got the salt now. I'm just going to put some salt in it. I hope I don't put too much, because I don't measure. I measure with my eyes basically, and I don't like to try on food when I'm cooking. I just use my, how do you say, instinct. So I'm just going to fry it a little bit more now. it's time to put the tomatoes as well in. I've pureed the tomato before that, so I'm just going to let it simmer, fry a little bit, you know. And the saucepan I'm using is my pressure cooker. I like to cook in this pan, is much thicker, and I'm going to add in a bit of puree as well, tomato puree there. So as I was saying, I use this pressure cooker. Look, my god, the sauce is looking really nice. Don't you think it's ready to eat? I think it does, but no, not really. So I'll let it simmer a little bit, let the spices cook more, and the fish is ready now, so I had to put it to the side. I don't want to drain it too much, so that, you know, to lose all the, how do you know, the soup or the sauce. So the meat is simmering a little bit there. Yeah guys, I think one day I'll have to do a video and basically talk about life, how really life is in UK. Sometimes it's really hectic. You have loads of things to do. You have cooking, you have cleaning, you have work to go to, appointments, you have training, you have this, you have everything. And I find that I don't have time for myself, even to call my family. Sometimes I feel like, I know that sounds selfish to say, whatever you do, how busy you are, you have to get some time for your family. But my god, sometimes it's really hard. By the time the day is ending or has ended, you're really tired. I am really tired. The only thing I'm thinking of, bed. Like, I need to go to bed, you know. And especially during working week and the kids are in school, they have activities, you have to run here and there, you know. So people think, oh, life in UK is all luxury. No, you have to work hard for it, you know. To get somewhere, you have to work hard, you know. And here, compared to back home, I mean, yeah, as well, but if you don't pay your bills, you'll be in trouble, really big trouble. But and the bills here are expensive than Uganda. So that's the fish now. And look guys, the meat is looking more delicious now that the tomatoes, the spices are all cooked down, you know. So I'm just waiting to put the eggplant in. As you can see there, now you see what I said, the color is still the same, it didn't turn out to be brown. So I'm putting this before I put the water in. I'm going to cook it a little bit. So after, when I put water and it simmer, I'll leave it to simmer almost like 2 hours basically, so that the meat is all nice and tender. All that aubergine is, or eggplant, is going to dissolve. You won't even notice, guys. This is one way I let my kids eat vegetables. I'm whispering because they're in the other room. So I do a trick like that. I think it works. So they won't know. But if I leave it too obvious, they'll be asking, what is this? What is that? I don't want to eat it. I don't like it. Blah, blah, blah. Things like that. So now I'm just going to add water in and then let it to simmer. As you can see, doesn't it look beautiful and tasty? Makes your mouth, you know, water. So I'm going to put the lid on. Leave it to simmer, you know. So that is done, and that will go nice with rice or matoke or things like that. Guys, see, now I have to do the dishes, clean all that up, because of course there's no dishwasher here or maid or someone else to wash it for me. That's now after a few moments later. The dishes are done. I'm not gonna dry them because no, I'll leave it there to dry. Oh, finally I can have a cup of latte, matcha latte. So I have been dying to have a drink since I started cooking. I'm using the circuit one pre-measured already, so yeah, to enjoy myself a bit. This is one way that I find check our meat. Our sauce, as you can see, is all cooked. You can't even see the eggplant. So that is the final look or the final result. That's it. Got meat. Look guys, the sauce is very thick and nice, and now you can't even see a single vegetable. And this is the fish. Thank you so much guys for watching. Please like the video, share and subscribe to support my channel. Until next time guys.